Right now on Hoosier News Source, the coronavirus is now in Indiana. But what happens if it reaches Bloomington? We'll tell you what the university's backup plan is.
And a prominent national figure takes center stage on campus. Find out why a former ambassador stopped by Bloomington this week.
And I have when we can expect lots of rain this week, as well as a possible warm-up in the future and your spring break forecast. Hoosier News Source starts now.
Hello and welcome to Hoosier News Source. I'm Noelle Friel.
And I'm Allison Zyhammer. We begin Hoosier News Source with breaking news. Charlie Robeski joins us in studio to tell us the latest developments on IU's response to the spreading of coronavirus.
Thanks, Allison and Noelle. With more cases of coronavirus developing across the country and Indiana, IU is beginning to take action. In an email sent by President Michael McRobbie, here are the highlights. All classes following spring break will move to online only. They will resume April 6th. However, this is subject to change. For this 2-week period, students are encouraged to remain at home and not come to campus. Visitors are also being highly discouraged to come to campus. In addition, no new events are allowed to be planned with guests of 100 or more. Already planned events are encouraged to postpone or cancel. IU spokesperson Chuck Carney tells us what else we can expect to happen the next few weeks.
We will continue to do deep cleaning. We've actually upped the cleaning that we've been doing already, really increasing what we were doing already. In addition to that, we're making sure we're following the CDC guidelines that are on the website about cleaning for coronavirus and preventing the spread.
Hoosier News Source will continue to update you on this developing story through all social media.
Thanks, Charlie. Former U.S. Ambassador to Ukraine Marie Yovanovitch visited IU this week as part of a foreign policy conference that took place at the IU Auditorium. The America's Role in the World Conference is a nonpartisan foreign policy conference put on each year by the School of Global and International Studies. Yovanovitch was thrust into the spotlight earlier this year when she was called to testify at President Trump's impeachment trial. She spoke about her decision to testify in a moderated question and answer session with students.
I'd note that the State Department and the federal government, and I'm sure local and state government, are full of people who would have responded just as I did, just as the other witnesses did, that you are called upon to tell the truth.
IU President Michael McRobbie honored Yovanovitch with the Richard G. Lugar Award for distinguished work as an ambassador. Other guests at this year's conference included former Ambassador William J. Burns and U.S. Senator Todd Young.
Spring has sprung on IU's campus, but the grass isn't the only thing turning green. Green bandanas are popping up all around campus, but what do they mean? The color green symbolizes mental health awareness, and IUSG is implementing a new campus initiative to increase mental health awareness. To participate, all you have to do is tie one of the bandanas onto your backpack. IUSG's goal is to pass out 5,000 of the green bandanas.
If someone is wearing a green bandana, then they're there for people who are going through a difficult time, or that they are there for someone who needs somebody to talk to, or just to show like, okay.
IUSG's hope is that the sight of these green bandanas increase solidarity and to help end the stigma that surrounds mental health.
Spring is here, which means that summer is right around the corner. But this year's summer vacation will look quite different for some local Bloomington children. The Monroe County School Corporation will begin a pilot 3-year round education experience program beginning this summer. The program will begin at MCCSC's Early Learning Center and will be available for children from as young as 6 weeks old up to the age of 4. At a school board meeting at the end of February, Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum Deborah Prenkert laid out the summer education plan. Prenkert said the plan is much needed due to the closures of surrounding Monroe County early childhood education centers and care facilities. If successful, the pilot program hopes to expand into its Hoosier Hills Child Care Center in the summer of 2022. And the race to the White House is getting tighter. 5 candidates, including Indiana's Mayor Pete Buttigieg, have exited the race to the White House. Democratic frontrunners, former Vice President Joe Biden and Senator Bernie Sanders dueled across 14 states last week during Super Tuesday. Biden led the way, winning 380 delegates from wins across 10 states. Senator Sanders was close behind with 328 total delegates, with big wins in both California and Colorado. Super Tuesday's results led former New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg and Minnesota Senator Amy Klobuchar to both suspend their campaigns. Senator Elizabeth Warren ended her campaign later in the week as well. The IU Student Democrat group gathered last week to watch the Super Tuesday results as they came in.
It will really give you an idea of going into it. Like, it's a lot of people have narrowed down. You've seen people drop off, and you're getting to the point where it's getting down to the wire, and soon we're going to have a lot better of idea who we're going to see going into the convention.
The IU Dems will continue to host future watch parties and encourages all students to get out this election cycle and vote. To find voting information, head to indianavoters.in.gov.
Coming up on Hoosier News Source, we have continued coverage on the coronavirus and IU's actions before spring.
And Zoe Mintz joins us with what weather to expect on spring break.
And it's March. I have all you need to know about the madness that is set to ensue.
Welcome back. Until classes shift to online only, professors are deciding on their own ways of what to do until then. HNS reporter Charlie Robeski tells us what these plans may look like,
along with tips on how to prevent the spreading of the coronavirus.
Allison and Noel, the university is taking action after multiple Indiana residents were diagnosed with coronavirus over the weekend. While many classes are still scheduled to meet as normal, some professors have decided to convert to online class until spring break. Many have even decided to cancel classes for the rest of the week. IU spokesperson Chuck Carney says that the university has a plan of action in place if the virus spreads to Bloomington. Carney says that this plan is meant to keep students safe and healthy.
The one thing that we can say is that we've really put some time into it for many weeks. It's not something that we weren't anticipating coming, and this may yet be some long weeks ahead, but we will be working with the students to make sure that they are safe first and foremost, and then also that they're getting the IU education that they've come here for.
While there is no vaccine for the coronavirus, there are a few things you can do to prevent the spread of bacteria, like washing your hands for at least 20 seconds with hot water and soap, and drying with a single-use hand towel. If you're not near a sink, use a hand sanitizer that's at least 60% alcohol. You can wipe down surfaces that are prone to bacteria with disinfecting wipes, and keep your hands away from your eyes, your nose, and your mouth. And lastly, please stay home if you're sick. IU is working with staff and faculty to accommodate students who are too ill to attend class. For Hoosier News Source, I'm Charlie Robeski. Back to you.
We will continue to keep you posted on this developing story. Until then, it's starting to feel a little bit more like spring in the past few days.
That's right. Zoe Mintz joins us now to tell us if there will be warmer weather on spring break. Zoe?
Thanks, Noel. And these mild, warm days will stay with us all week, but not without a little bit of rain to go along with it as a low pressure system pushes into our area, continuing to push east as we head into later this week. But unfortunately, that does mean rain is the name of the game. Early Thursday, we could see a few showers. Heading into Thursday night, overnight, definitely going to be a lot of rain. Even into Friday morning, we can see the possibility of rain as well. But altogether, we are not going to be getting much of a break from the clouds and the rain as we head into this weekend, especially for spring break. We are going to see again this rain continue into the weekend. Friday, there is the chance of rain in the morning into the overnight hours, like I said, Thursday into Friday morning. Then the sun should come out, leaving us with pretty gorgeous mild temperatures. Into Saturday, again, the shower and rain chances are going to increase, leaving us with nice cooler temperatures back into the mid 40s as we head into Sunday. But as you take a look at next next week, we are going to see a warm-up again if we take a look at the extended forecast, but mostly rain and clouds is the name of the game. Taking a look, clouds and rain all the way through Saturday. We should see a break in the rain as we head into Sunday and Monday with mostly cloudy weather, although we are going to see a wonderful warm-up as we head into the end of this week and early into next week. But altogether, I know you are all going to be leaving Bloomington for spring break, so I hope you all go out, enjoy your spring break, and be safe. Noelle, Allison, back to you.
Thanks, Zoe. And now Maxwell Glenn with sports. Max?
The women's basketball team was in Indianapolis for the Big Ten tournament last week. After a double bye in the tournament, the 4th-seeded Hoosiers faced the 5th-seeded Scarlet Knights. Indiana cruised past Rutgers 78-60, sending them into a tough matchup against Maryland. Maryland was the top seed. Indiana fell 66-51, and Maryland went on to win the tournament. Now the Hoosiers will await their fate as selections will be made on March 16th. Meanwhile, the men's basketball team's gearing up for the Big Ten tournament, which will also take place in Indianapolis. Here you can see the bracket where Indiana is seeded at number 11. They will face 14th-seeded Nebraska on March 11th, that game taking place 25 minutes after the Northwestern Minnesota game. If Indiana wins, Penn State is up next, and that game will take place after the Ohio State-Purdue game. IU fans, though, will have to wait and see how the rest of the tournament pans out for the Hoosiers. Indiana's first 2 games will be available on the Big Ten Network. Now, Indiana water polo returned home for the Hoosier Invite and put on another spectacle. 3 games were on the slate, and Indiana won every last one. In their first game, IU beat Mercyhurst 15-5. They would go on to defeat Cal Lutheran 20-3 and McKendree 18-6. Tina Doherty was the star of the weekend, recording 12 goals. Indiana's win streak is now up to 10, and that could be nearing an end, though, as they will face the top 2 teams in the nation in one weekend. IU will face number 2 UCLA on Saturday, March 14th, and USC on Sunday, March 15th. That's going to be a tough schedule for them, but we'll see how that pans out.
Yeah, so Max, how is the coronavirus going to affect sporting events here at IU?
Well, we're still waiting to hear on how it will affect the NCAA tournament, but professional leagues have released a statement saying that locker rooms are closed to the media. So it's going to be really interesting with so many games being played in the NCAA tournament, how that'll pan out for media. But right. Fans in the stands, that's also a big concern too, and that's different leagues have been removing them, and so that's another decision that has to be made in the coming weeks.
Right. Well, thank you, Max.
Thank you, guys.
And thank you for watching this week's episode of Hoosier News Source.
To learn more about this week's stories, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at IUSTV News.
I'm Allison Zyhammer.
And I'm Noelle Friel. From Bloomington, Indiana, we'll see you next week.